today is usually a great day in cycling because it's the first stage of the Giro d'Italia, one of the three classic grand tours of European cycling. But alas, because of coronavirus, like everything else, it's canceled. But today we're going to make a couple of cocktails in honor of today. And for inspiration, we're going to look no further than the classic, iconic symbol of the Giro d'Italia, and that is the Maglia Rosa, the pink jersey. Now, it got its name, the pink jersey, because of the Gazzetta dello Sport, which was a newspaper printed on pink newsprint that created the Giro way back in 1909. And they were just really trying to mimic what the French had done, a French newspaper had done, trying to sell more newspapers, in creating the Tour de France a few years earlier. But a few years in, they realized that in a multi-stage race, it was hard to tell who was leading the race. So they created the maillot jaune, the yellow jersey. And were able then to see who the GC leader was from the side of the road so fans and media could tell. And a few years later, the Italians followed suit, and we have the birth of the Maglia Rosa. So, what spirit or captured the spirit of the Giro? Well, none other than Campari, this classic bitter Italian aperitif. Now, they'll drink it neat before dinner as an aperitif. We're going to make a couple of Campari-based cocktails on it. So, the first is called the Bicicletta, and it is equal parts, well, actually it follows a 3-2-1 rule, like most spritzes. Campari, white wine, and a little bit of soda water to give it a little bit of a spritz there. You can garnish with a lemon here, and there is the Bicicletta. Now, it got its name after observing elderly Italian men sort of weaving their way home on their bicycles after an afternoon of tippling these. Highly recommend that you drink them after a bike ride, or drink the Bicicletta after a bike ride as opposed to before. Now, the second drink is the Americano. Now, the Americano got its name because there were so many Americans on their grand tour in the late 19th century. When they got to Italy, they ordered these, and so it became named. And in this essentially is equal parts Campari, again with our classic red, sweet vermouth. We're essentially upping from still wine to a sweet vermouth here. And then equal parts soda water. So there you have it. And here you garnish with a orange. And there is the classic Americano. Now, there's one prominent Italian who didn't think that this Americano had enough oomph to it, didn't have enough forza. So he directed his bartender to substitute the soda water for the gin. So again, here you go gin instead of the soda water, our sweet vermouth, and lastly our fumbling here, our Campari for this drink there. Now, this prominent Italian had really landed on something that really took off, and soon everybody was ordering what Count Negroni had ordered. So this is the famous Negroni. Now, he might have had it neat. I'm an American. I love cold drinks. It's our God-given right to have as much ice in our drinks as possible. So that's how I'm serving it, and perfectly legitimate way to have a Negroni. Now, for a little more history on this thing, I refer you to Eric's Cocktails, Culture and the Art of Drinking Well. It is a great book. It makes for a wonderful Mom's or Father's Day and gift, and it has a beautiful couple of pages on the history of these and many, many other drinks. So, there you have it, a bunch of three Campari-based cocktails in honor of the Giro, and let's raise our glass to the Giro and to all of Italy, and to better days ahead, and may the only suffering that you see be of Giro riders suffering in the saddle in their quest for the Maglia Rosa glory. Cent'anni!